What is up, everyone? Tyler here with Cook on Fish, and this is episode 2 of the Outdoorsman Oath podcast. Today we have the man himself, the man who invented and created exact archery, and I'd like to welcome Jake Wilkins to the podcast. How you doing, Jake?
Hey, Tyler, thanks for having me on and feel honored to be on the second podcast here.
Yeah, we just got rocking and rolling, and our first episode got quite a bit of views on YouTube, so hopefully the momentum keeps building.
Yeah, what you guys are doing is awesome and a group of guys like yourself that just kind of wanted to do this and got it started and there's a need out there. So I think what you guys are doing is really cool.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, and appreciate you having on. So, if you don't mind just telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Jake Wilkins. I'm from Columbus, Nebraska. Grew up in north central Nebraska. I uh, I grew up loving hunting, fishing, all that stuff, and I really, in about the probably fifth grade, I got kind of hooked into bow hunting, and I had one of my best friends was a big bow hunter, and his dad really got me into bow hunting. I killed my first buck when I was in sixth grade, and I never really looked back from there, and I kind of had a passion for it growing up. Um, and then I came up with the idea of kind of a Dollar Shave Club for broadheads of why do broadheads have to be so expensive? And about a year and a half ago, we launched Exact Archery, where we make a fixed blade broadhead at about half the cost of what other competitors are, just because we eliminate retail, the Cabela's, Shields, all those companies, and we go right online and sell our product directly online. And it's been fun. I mean, I think some of you guys reached out to us and said, "Hey, we kind of see what you're doing, and we like what you're doing." And I think some of you guys have used them this year, and I hope that you guys continue to use them and like them moving forward.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So, are you a Huskers fan?
I am through and through, man. It's been a tough last 20 years that we've had, but
Yeah,
hopefully we can get it figured out.
it takes is a good coach and good group of guys to get that momentum going.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Are you a Husker fan, or are you a Jackrabbit, or a Coyote?
I'm actually a Buckets fan.
Okay, that's awesome.
I want to see you all the way.
Oh, you
Yep,
bet,
the Ohio
you
State.
bet. The Ohio State. What's your connection
That's
there?
awesome though.
Anything?
The wife, she's from Northern Ohio, and her family's huge Ohio State fans. And I used to live in Ohio for a little bit, so the Badgers
Cool.
don't really live up to their reputation, in my opinion. And I was like, well, I'm going Ohio State.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Man, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah. So you said Exact Archery, you launched it about a year ago. What kind of prompted you to want to take on that adventure of like one day, hey, I'm gonna start my own broadhead company, let's get it, and compete with the big, big names in the game? Like, is it just, did it take a
Yeah.
lot of planning, or was it just something spur of the moment?
So I was listening to it was about 2 years ago. I was listening to a commercial about Dollar Shave Club, and one of the biggest pain points in archery and whatever is just the expense. I mean, it's getting more and more expensive. Bows are costing $1,000. I mean, arrows are costing 100, 150 to $200, and then you're going to buy three broadheads for $50. So I mean, it's almost becoming like a rich man's type of hobby a little bit. So I asked the question of like, why do things have to be so expensive? And what I found out is all these retailers just continue to raise prices um, to increase their margin because interest is high and they got to make money on it. Where 80% of their stuff that they sell is online already. So I said, why can't we just create a broadhead company that's 100% online? So the story goes like this. So I sent kind of a prototype of the broadhead that we know now as the Exact broadhead to Germany, and I said, hey, is there any way that you'd be able to make this? And the reason we went with Germany is because of the fact that They've got some of the most high quality cutlery in the whole world, and they've got some of the best iron ore, which they make into stainless steel. And we decided, hey, why don't we go with the best? And so we work with a manufacturer there, and then we asked the question too, why does packaging have to be so expensive? We found out that packaging was going to be really really expensive. What we'd use is just a little box like this, and um, that that protects our broadheads when we ship them. And we know that packaging gets thrown away as soon as it gets to a customer anyway. So why charge them an extra $5 or $6 or $7 for some fancy packaging? So that's what we did, and we've had a lot of guys just really, really like them, and they fly really good. The design we chose is really built for long distance shooting or close distance. I mean, it's kind of, we had a guy shooting antelope at 75 plus yards out in western Nebraska this year. We've had guys shoot, you know, anywhere from, sheep up in Alaska, water buffalo in South Africa. I mean, they're durable, and that's what we wanted to create when we created our company and our brand.
That's awesome. That's just, I can imagine just one day like, hey, I'm gonna start a broadhead company. That takes a lot of hard work, and that's awesome that you guys are able to get it figured out.
Well, it just,
So,
for myself, it was
do
it was just finding a need and addressing that need, I guess.
yeah, well, you're definitely doing everyone a favor. I mean, as you said it yourself. I mean, you get broadheads. I'm not gonna say brand names, but they rhyme with wage, and you're paying, like you said, $50 for three. And if you're lower class or the average working man, that, especially out west, you lose a lot of arrows. So it's like this for six broadheads, you're paying 100 plus bucks. That's just insane. So I
Yep.
think it's awesome that you guys are able to cut out that middleman and make them yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
with that being said, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so with that being said, with the retailers, have you had retailers reach out trying to get you guys to work with them, or how's that work?
Little, we've got a few retailers that reached out to us that asked us if we want to go to the big box stores, and it's actually funny. I'll tell this story because I won't say which retailer, but one retailer reached out to us and they said, "Hey, would you like to come into retail?" And I said, "Well, how much would we get paid to go into retail?" And they told us a number, and it was less than $10 for a 3-pack. And I said, "Well, what are you going to sell them for?" It's going to be $40. So they were going to make a very healthy
Jeez.
profit, and we automatically said no, just because of the fact that, hey, we want to be for bow hunters. We want to help bow hunters out, and by doing what we do, we think we're making a difference in the hunting game, and we don't want these guys to make all this profit off of guys who are working class, or not only that, but I mean, it's just getting ridiculous how much these guys are willing to charge. And a lot of broadheads 10 years ago were independently made or independently owned. And then once they got a little bit of success, these large companies just came in and bought them out. And then they could just up the price on everything. So, anyway, that's kind of, we've had some guys reach out to us. We've got some small bow shops that carry our product. But what we do is we just say, hey, if you buy 10 boxes or whatever, we'll give you a discount on them, and then they can resell them for whatever they want to. But yeah, that's kind of how we do it. But 95% of our sales are online.
That's awesome. So if you're theoretically, if you were to go with a retailer, would they still be sourced out of Germany, or would they probably go to China or some other country and kind of bring the quality down a little bit? Do you think?
Um, no, because at the end of the day, I mean, we want to create the highest quality broadhead. I mean, are you asking that question like if we were to go with a retailer, would we do that? Would we move a manufacturer, or are you saying if other companies go to retail, they?
Like if you think like I guess what I'm trying to say is if you guys were to say take that offer with the retailer, would you still be able to source out of Germany, or would they go to a different country, and because it's probably cheaper to get made?
Yeah, sure. So the we don't want to go down that route. We're not necessarily saying that we probably ever will go down that route just because of the success that we've seen being direct sales. So I would just say, as long as we own the company that we have here, is we're going to make our product as high quality as we possibly can and the most affordable one on the market. Today we can sell a 3 pack of broadheads for less than $25. And a lot of guys just like they're like, holy smokes, just because they're low cost, they must be low quality and they must be made cheaply and all that stuff. And they're not. I mean, they're made out of the best material, maybe even some of the better material than the name brands. But we feel it our obligation to give guys that high quality, not only high quality products, but like the service. I mean, I'm the founder and CEO. I mean, I'll tell you what, like there's nobody else that's going to work harder for us in the broadhead industry than we are because we're bow hunters. We understand the need for quick turnaround time, quick responses. If you've got any issues, you reach out to us and we'll get you taken care of. And I think we've lost that personal touch as time went on and everything's become more commercialized over the course of the last, 10, 15, 20 years here.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one thing I like a lot of things about the broadheads, but as the company in general, just you see it on your social media pages. I mean, you're there for the hunters, and that's awesome. And every harvest picture you get, you're posting it on Instagram, and I just think that's great that you're helping people out with the low costs and providing quality equipment.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is like, we used to idolize all these guys who were, these big, Lee and Tiffany Lukoski and like some of these big name hunters that were massive. And now we've got all this YouTube. Got like we're starting to change the tone of what hunting shows should look like because anybody who has a camera can go out and start filming their own hunts. And like I'll throw out some names like Bow Only here in Nebraska. They do their own type of videoing, and I mean they've got 35,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel, and I know those guys personally really well. And like it doesn't take much to just get a good audience that are gonna watch your videos. And we've had the opportunity to partner with a few of those guys that have promoted us on their social medias and all that, and it's been a fun adventure because that helps us to get some traction too. And we partner with those guys just like Cook Cut and Fish. I mean, you guys have been partners of ours too, and you're starting to get a really good grasp of people who listen to your stuff and watch your stuff. And it's been a fun ride so far, and looking forward to many more years to partnering with you guys.
Oh yeah, same goes to you. So when you started, were you expecting it to take off, or like what was like your I guess going into it? What was your mindset? Were you like, okay, we're gonna get this out there, and we're gonna like starting out? Was it tough to get traction, or was it right out the gates you were rocking and rolling?
So we came out with our product. We came out with our design kind of and our product and our launch and everything, and it was awful. Like literally the first 6 months, like I think we sold. I mean, we didn't sell that many at all. And the thing that I wanted to do was I didn't want to sell to my friends. I didn't want to sell to any of my friends that were bow hunters because I wanted to see that other people had success with them as much as like I was having success with them. So what we did was I came on a podcast of Blue River Bow Hunting, who's out of Indiana. And anyway, I came on a podcast with him, and he's like, "Man, you need to come out to the Indiana Deer Game and Turkey Expo." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to come out there." And he's like, "You will have so much success. You guys will just blow it out of the water." And I'm like, "All right." So I signed up for it, and I'm like, "Well, maybe there's some other trade shows that we could go to." So we did one here in Nebraska. We did one in Wisconsin. We did one in Kansas. We're this year we're going to go to Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska. So we're like we really started getting some traction at some of these trade shows where guys were like, "Wow, that's an awesome concept. We love what you guys are doing." And then we started getting more social media following, and then people who are using them, we can post their pictures, and so it just bow hunting is so tight knit that like once you have a good experience with something, you're going to tell your buddy, and he's going to order some, and then he's going to tell his buddy. So it's just like it's so niche that you don't necessarily have to have a million customers, but the customers that we do have, we can relate really well to. And so anyway, I thought, if I sell 100 packs a year, I'd be happy, And we do that in a week now. Like it's just, I mean, we're just continually, and it's very seasonal, but we're really thankful for people like yourself that are willing to stick your neck out there and be partners of ours. And I think the thing that we boil down to is like we want to be a partner with our people because we know that the people who promote our products are our most valuable asset. Because I'm a dumb farm kid from Nebraska. I couldn't have done this by myself, and you guys are the real heroes that really help to promote our brand.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're happy to do it. I mean, like I told you, we were texting a month or two back when we got our broadheads, and they fly like a dream. And I'm really impressed with them, and I think a lot of people will be impressed once they try them out and get on board. I could definitely see you guys blowing up more than you already are, and that'd be awesome to see.
Yeah, well, we're one man band here in Nebraska. My wife is gonna kill me because she's the one who packages them all. And I'm like, honey, we're packaging tonight, and we'll spend 2 hours packaging all the orders and doing all that stuff. But yeah, it's just amazing what like a little idea can have once you start getting a little bit of traction.
That's awesome. So, I guess when you mean package, when you package them, do they come assembled, or do you have to assemble them, put them in the little bags you send them in, and then box them, or does it all one piece?
So they come assembled. So they come pre-assembled, but now we've got a wrench, like an Allen wrench, we can sell that'll actually allow us to take these blades off. So we sell that now together. So if guys buy 2 packs, we just throw in the Allen wrench. But you can see here the ferrule is separate, and it's just you can these ferrule is pretty much separate, and then you just slide that on the blades, kind of like a slick trick, kind of.
Mm.
But anyway, they come apart. If you want to put a stay sharp on them, you can, and that's kind of how we do it. But yeah, they come pre-assembled, but you can take the blades apart if you need to. And I probably have never showed you guys that, but yeah, it's a 0.9 millimeter Allen head if you guys are ever wanting to take those apart.
Yeah, yeah. I know we were playing with them, and we kind of figured it out, but that's
Yep, it's
awesome.
trial and error, right?
Yeah. So, what grain broadheads do you offer?
Yeah, so great question. So we've actually got an opportunity to with our design is we decided all these big companies were out there telling us we were crazy when we did this, but what we do is we make a brass collar that you can put on here to add 25 grains to it. Now, if you wanted to do, 25 grains, add 25 grains, and you go up to 125, and then if you wanted to go up to 150, it's the exact same brass collar and how it's notched right there. You can just put it on backwards, and then that makes it 150 grain. And then you just screw your arrow right into it, and then you're ready to rock and roll. So it's a design that we came up with that allowed guys to have the flexibility if they needed it. A lot of guys don't do any of that stuff, but if you're going to go, shoot whitetails and then you're going to go and shoot moose or caribou or whatever, and you want some more kinetic energy, you don't have to buy new broadheads. You can just add that brass collar, and that adds more weight, kinetic energy for you.
That's awesome. So, If a guy say bought the broadheads and he wanted to buy the collars, he could just run on the website there, buy them, and get them shipped and rock and roll with them.
Yep. So we sell them in three different tiers. So we've got 100 and 125, and then the brass collars. So if you wanted to buy the 100 grain, that would just come without the brass collars. If you wanted to buy the 125 grain, those come with the brass collars. And it's so right now on our website, it's $21 for one set of, or for 300 grain, and then it's $25 for 325 grain.
I think you froze up there for a second.
Okay, you got me now.
Yep, you're back.
Okay, perfect.
So, do you guys have any plans to make any further equipment, or are you just going to stick with broadheads? Are you going to get into arrows or fletchings, anything of that sort?
Yeah. So the plan is right now is we're gonna we're probably gonna expand into maybe expandables and more of a lineup. But right now we just want to make sure that we perfect what we've got. I mean, the worst thing in the world that we get is gets the chance of a lifetime to kill a world class deer or world class whatever, and the product doesn't work or it malfunctions or whatever. So we want to make sure that we perfect this one first, and we do it right, and we take care of our customers that way. And then we once we feel comfortable with that, we might continue to expand. But right now we want to get be the best in the world at fixed blade broadheads, and particularly the four blade, you know, stainless steel one first, the exact broadhead which we have right now.
Yeah, that's how you know you guys have something special because you're there for the quality and want to assure that your customers have that quality, and you're not just trying to get quantity and pumping out, and just not really caring about the hunter. So I think that's awesome that you guys do that.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah. So do you? I know you mentioned trade shows. Do you have anything planned for 2024 or even the rest of this year coming up?
Yeah, so really the trade shows will start here in January. So we've got January. I think between January and April, I've got 8 trade shows. So like I said, it's Nebraska, um, Iowa, the Iowa Deer Classic, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Missouri, and then I think we're gonna go to one out west, like Salt Lake City. So I I work full time as well. I'm a district manager for a company, so I have to burn a lot of vacation time to do this sort of stuff, and I put quite a few miles on by doing it. But I'm just really fortunate that I can take some vacation time and continue to grow this business while I'm still getting a paycheck somewhere else.
That's awesome. That just shows your drive and ambition right there. Because I know a lot of people, they'd probably have their day job like yourself, and then they just wouldn't want to take on something that big. And that's pretty cool that you can get that done and work both out. And that's awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're some days I don't make it work. I mean, we've got 2 little kids here at home, and we're yeah, it stretches us thin, but we're I guess just at the end of the day, it's people like you guys. I mean, it's the customers that we serve that makes it all worth it. That seeing that we are actually doing something that's helping bow hunters.
That's awesome. Yeah. Um, Sounds like shout out to your wife too for being by your side and helping you out with all the
Oh my
packaging.
gosh,
That sounds like, oh
I
man,
could
I
not
couldn't
do it.
imagine that strength.
Well, not only that, but she's home with the kids on weekends where I'm in trade shows and all that stuff, and it takes a toll. I mean, like it's some long weekends, like waking up at 2 o'clock on a Friday morning to head to Wisconsin, get there by noon, set up, be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get done with the show Sunday at 5 p.m., drive back home get home at 2 a.m. and start the work day on Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it does
Wow.
take some time and commitment. And I definitely, like you said, Tyler, I would not be able to do it without my wife.
That's awesome. That's good that you have someone to help you and by your side like that.
Yep.
So, so with the trade shows, do you anticipate a lot of sales? So do you like buy, I guess, more product at once and take them to the show, or do you just kind of refer to your website and have them bought and then from you shipped to the consumer?
Yeah, nope. It's a lot of direct sales there. And what we'll do with some of these sales is, we'll give customers a discount if they buy online after they buy from us at these trade shows. Um, so yeah, we sell a lot of them. I would say last year our trade show sales eclipsed um, our actual internet sales by probably 2x. So we had some really good success at some of these trade shows just because, you know, people are there, they're wanting to, they want to try new things or open to trying new things. If somebody just randomly comes on our website, they're not like, oh yeah, I'll try those. I think they look at the price point and they're like, they're probably cheaply made, they're probably crap, whatever. But if you can explain the story that we have with these guys and build some rapport, that's where we start to see some success, and then we say, hey, send us a picture once you kill something with them, and they do, and that makes it pretty fun too.
Yeah, I'm sure that definitely helps at the trade shows, get your hands on them and be able to look at them and see that they're quality and all that good stuff.
Yep, for
So
sure.
you said you had some water buffalo harvested. How do your broadheads get to South Africa? I'm assuming South Africa because
Yeah,
that's across
yeah.
the
So
pond there. And
yeah, so South Africa, it was actually at these trade shows. So um, this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, if you want to ever come to South Africa, like just let me know and we'll make something work. You bring some of the hunters that you deal with, and we'll make it work." And anyway, he's like, "I love these broadheads. Like they look like slick tricks," is what he said. And I'm like, "Yeah, they look pretty similar." And so anyway, he came up to us and he's like, "Can I buy some?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. How many do you want to buy?" And he bought like 20 packs. And he's like, "I'm gonna sell
wow,
these at our trade show, or at our not at our trade show, at our kind of safari lodge," he called it. And he's like, "Yeah, if you ever want to partner with us or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, we'd love to." So we're partnered up with that safari, and like a lot of guys who go there, they'll ask a lot of questions about like what broadhead should I bring and all that. Well, they sell some right there. They sell some of ours right there. There's a guy out of Kansas as well that he owns like this subcontracting firm, and he takes all of his employees to somewhere, like if they go to a beach vacation or if they go to South Africa and hunt animals or whatever. And anyway, he's a guy that we actually sponsor, because he does a lot of like shooting all over the United States, and he does a lot of like in Vegas. He goes to some of those big shoots and stuff, and he's been a great voice for us. And he took a bunch of his customer or his employees down there, and they shot everything from baboons to water buffalo to warthogs. I mean, it was just the pictures we got from him were awesome, and you can see some of those on our website. But that's how we kind of got hooked up with South Africa, and it kind of works really well because a lot of their season is in our off season, like our summer months. They're down there hunting really hard, and so we've got, it's a way for us to not have a really terribly slow season. We've got more, you know, we've still got sales that are going on even though nothing is being hunted here in June, July, August, and September.
that's awesome. That's really cool. So if people want to get in contact with you, what's your social media handles, your website? If you wouldn't mind giving that so the audience can be sure to check you guys out.
Yeah, so you can go to exactarchery.com. That's exactarchery.com. Our all of our social media stuff is just Exact Archery, and then if you ever want to get a hold of us or whatever, it's exactarchery@gmail.com. And you can find out a little bit more. And Tyler and that Cook Hunt and Fish group are ambassadors for us. And so, if you want to ask more questions about it and you want to reach out to those guys, you can as well, and we can get you guys in contact with us. And we're just really thankful for your guys' partnership with us, and really feel honored to be on the podcast with you guys here over the last, call it a half hour.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said earlier, we're pretty blessed to have paired up with you on Instagram when we just first started, and now we got a couple months behind us, and so it's a pleasure to be partnering with you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some more deer that you guys shoot this fall. It should be a fun. Should Are you guys going to be able to get out here in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, rifle opener starts up this weekend actually on the 11th. So I'll probably go out there. I got a mule deer tag and try to fill that, but then I'm gonna take my bow up in the Black Hills here and try to add all buck in while they're hunting. So I think that'd be a pretty good time.
Yeah, that will be. Well, you're in a beautiful place of the world up there in the Black Hills, and if there's anywhere I would live besides Nebraska, I would say that part of South Dakota would be top on my list anyway.
That's definitely pretty different than East Coast or Northern Wisconsin. So
That's for sure.
yeah. So with that being said, any closing thoughts from you? I don't. We pretty much hit all the wickets I was wanting to get good information on, and I guess inform the audience of with Exact Archery. So
Yeah, no, I think you hit all the nails on the head, and just really appreciate what you guys are doing. I mean, these guys are awesome at what they do. I mean, they've got, I think there's a disconnect sometimes with, hey, I got this animal, how do I cook it up, what do I do with it, all that sort of stuff, and you guys are starting to answer some of those questions. So exciting to see where our partnership goes, and thank you guys. And I remind me, you guys were all in the service, all of you guys that are part of
yes,
Cook Fish. Okay, well, thank you for your service. We wouldn't have the freedom that we do without you guys, so I really appreciate that. And you guys have been awesome to work with.
yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Jake, and it was a pleasure having you on here, and I look forward to keeping in contact with you. And for all the viewers out there, make sure to head to exactarchery.com or any of their social medias, like Jake said, at Exact Archery, and get yourself a pair of quality broadheads.
Cool. Thanks,
But
Tyler.
yeah, thank you, Jake. Have a great night.
Hey, you too.
And with that being said, Jake Wilkins is out of the studio here on Riverside.com. I'm sorry, Riverside.fm. So if you enjoyed the podcast here, just go ahead and please hit subscribe, give us a rating, share with your friends. What we're trying to do is just kind of bring the outdoors to those who don't have the opportunity, or just those who are connected with the outdoors. And it's kind of what makes us special is we give back to the veteran community. Like, we'll donate to Warrior Rising. We work with a lot of veterans, and we just want to give back to that community for those that sign the dotted line like ourselves, and just support all the heroes of our nation out there, the healthcare workers, the firefighters, EMTs, cops, uh, correctional officers, just small business owners, those who are going through the shit every day just to make a living. So we really appreciate everyone. And like I said, thanks for listening. And yeah, we appreciate it and appreciate your support. Thank you.